I've never really been the type of YouTuber that focuses on trending topics. This isn't that kind of channel. I find that a lot of people focus on trending topics for the sensationalism. It gets attention, drives traffic to their channel. It helps boost their growth and garners a lot of views. It makes sense. It's a trending topic. Everybody's talking about it. So why not cash in on it? Benefit from the trend. Sadly, some people only speak up when it's trending, or if there is a benefit to them. I refer to these types of people as cashtivists. They're only in it for the money, an activist for the cash. And as with all trends, they eventually die down and is forgotten about. Every now and then, I'll address a topic that's trending, if it happens to be something that I normally talk about on a regular basis, or if I can turn it into a learning opportunity. But how often do we address these topics and nothing changes? Nothing is learned. Nothing is truly addressed. One hashtag leads to another hashtag and eventually becomes a distant memory. Our talking points end up being repetitive. We say the same things over and over again. The only difference is we change the titles of the videos or the names of the victims. Personally, I'm not one that likes to repeat myself. Are we flogging a dead horse by telling the same story over and over again? Giving mouth to a dead situation? Trying to revive a zombie? Or are we simply highlighting a problem without a solution? A story without a moral at the end? Context, reasons, mitigating circumstances, underlying root causes, and the origins. I receive emails and private messages all the time, asking me to address certain topics. And most of the time, they're trending topics. Recently, I was asked to address the 5 teenage boys that attacked a 15-year-old girl and a particular YouTuber's constant spewing of vitriol towards Black women. I thought to myself, how many times have I addressed stories like this? I mean, I could link every video below in my description because the tone of voice, the outrage, the anger, and the disappointment would all be the same. It would be a similar video, but with different titles. But it's sad that this type of thing keeps repeating. It's sad that this is a consistent trending topic. So I decided today that I will address this, but in a different way. Wouldn't we rather look at why this keeps happening and how to stop it? I speak on a plethora of different topics: racism, colorism, history, self-empowerment, oppression, Black unity, Black love, Black money. But one topic that has been a reoccurring topic addressed on this channel a lot is anti-Black women rhetoric, Black female bashing, Black women hate, or misogynoir. Someone asked me a few days ago, Angel, why do Black men hate Black women? Now I know that instantly you assume it was a Black woman that asked me this question, but to the contrary, it was actually a Black man. Now before I start, I must of course, sadly, for those of us of a sensitive, weak disposition, make a disclaimer. Before I begin, I'm not speaking about all Black men. We know that it's not all Black men. If throughout this video you feel like saying, but that's not all Black men, I'm not like that, then remind yourself of that last part of your statement. I'm not like that. If you're not like that, then I'm not talking about you. So just listen and learn. However, even when we say not all, I'm not like that, that statement dismisses the severity of this topic. It treats the topic as though it's not a big deal and there's nothing to worry about. Get over it. It's a non-issue. I'm not like that, so I don't need to listen to you. It's not important. Kind of like when we speak about racism and a pilgrim will come along and say, not all, that irritates us because we know it's not all. But by saying not all, it's also like saying racism isn't real. Get over it and stop complaining. By saying I'm not like that, I then have to ask, well, if you're not like that, what are you doing in your community to prove that you're not like that? Because simply not disrespecting Black women or not bashing them or not physically assaulting them isn't doing anything. It's like you want rewards for doing nothing. Do you speak up? Do you address those that do the things that you claim you don't do? You have to do something before you can say, I'm not like that. I know it's not all, but as I always say, I never say all. I always say too many and not enough. Because the reality is it's too many of us doing these things and not enough of us doing the right thing. Let me put that into perspective for you with an example. If Brad or Becky says, hey, I'm not racist, not all pilgrims are racist, I mean, that's great. But the reality is too many pilgrims are racist and not enough of them are not racist. Hopefully that makes sense. But I digress. So why do Black men hate Black women? or treat black women in this particular manner that we seem to see everywhere on social media and the news? I'll give you the short and sweet answer. It's because they want to be like the white man. Yes, the black man aspires to be like the white man. Now let me explain further. In order to understand where we're going, we have to know where we've been. To not make the same mistakes again, we must learn from our past. So we have to look at history to create a peaceful and perfect present and future. Black people have been oppressed, subjugated, and denigrated by pilgrims and alike for thousands of years. Some like to say for over 400 years, but I like to go a little farther back. African people were stripped of their freedom, their dignity, their name, their humanity, as well as other things. Black women were refused their femininity, and black men were demasculinized. This obviously has a negative effect on both men and women, but I'm focusing on men specifically here. When you're an enslaved group of people who then give birth to children in bondage, those children grow up looking at the oppressors as a representation of liberation and power. The pilgrim doesn't have to work in the fields picking cotton or sugarcane. The pilgrim doesn't have to work from sunup to sundown every day of their life. The pilgrim doesn't have to lower their eyes when speaking to a white man. They're not forced to procreate with each other. They're not raped. They can't be bought and sold. Their humanity is respected. They don't have to be told what to do. They have rights, God-given rights. They say a man without his freedom is not a man. What we have to understand is that without power, there is no freedom. This is one of the reasons why power is such a, powerful thing. Those with power have the ability to take away your freedom. So as the children of the enslaved, we grow up looking at white people as the epitome of power and freedom. We have been conditioned to see the master and all of his actions as the highest form of success. In order to achieve freedom, one must first achieve power. And in order to achieve this power, you have to become like your oppressor and mimic their traits and behavior. We know that with power, you're able to oppress others. But power is also built from oppression, control, and manipulation. Historically, how much power a man holds can be measured by his land, the amount of captive people he has, and how many women he controls and can have sex with, harems, concubines, and such. Money, power. Most men, once they get to a certain age, also know that women, generally speaking, are attracted to power, powerful men. That pretty boy face might only cut it for the teenage girls, but women, grown women on the other hand, require a little something more. And of course, I'm speaking in general. With this being said, and how power can represent attaining a multitude of things, all men want power, or a form of power. So when you're a black man that has been stripped of his power, his freedom, and the only men that you see that have power have built their power from oppressing others, you are subconsciously taught that in order to have power, I have to be like those men. I have to become like the white man. The black man wants what the white man has: his power, his title, his women. Sexism, chauvinism, and misogyny are European inventions. They're embroiled throughout their history and culture. You only need to pick up a history book and read how women throughout European history have been dismissed, disregarded, and treated like lower-class citizens. So as black men, we have tried our best to imitate the actions of the European in regard to black women, because we can't oppress our oppressor. So we have to look at the person that has less rights than us. So we turn on the black woman. She's supposedly weaker than the black man. And by following the step-by-step program of the pilgrim, an easy foot on the ladder of success towards power is to oppress your women. So when we're treated badly by our oppressors, we in turn treat black women the same. We see this all over the place today. Black people have no energy for those that are racist towards them, lock them away in prisons, kill them, steal from them, and oppress them. But we have all the energy for other black people. That's because we have been conditioned and brainwashed to feel powerless against Brad and Becky. Sadly, black women face the brunt of this treatment. It gives black men a false sense of power, a pseudo-freedom. This is a case when the oppressed become the oppressors. They're not oppressing their actual oppressors or fighting back against them in order to regain their liberation. They're trying to become just like them. Without knowing it, black men have become the white men of the black community. Massa enslaved us. We enslave our women. Massa beat us. We beat our women. Massa disrespects us. We disrespect our women. Massa fetishizes and sexualizes us. We do the same to our women. Massa sees us as property. We do the same to our women. Slavery is supposedly over, but we're still affected by this today. We have become overseers. The overseers would do the job of the slave masters. and in many cases would treat other enslaved people much worse than the slave masters themselves. They wanted to impress the slave master. Hey, look at me, I'm just like you, I'll do your job for you. In the book Their Eyes Will Watch Him by Zora Neale Hurston, she says, so the white man throws down the load and tells a nigger man to pick it up. He picks it up because he has to, but he doesn't tote it, he hands it to the women folk. The nigger woman is the mule of the world so far as I can see. The black man can't refuse the white man. He can't stand up to the white man or fight back. So instead, he looks at the black woman. Now don't get it twisted. The black man is also a victim in this. I understand that it might be hard to see someone that is oppressing you as a victim also, especially when you're being treated so badly by that person, and all you did was be a woman and be black. The little kid in school that is being bullied by the bigger kid doesn't look at the bully as a victim too. No, that kid is a bully and they're bullying me. But when that bully goes home, they're abused physically and mentally by their parents. They're beaten, starved, and treated badly for doing nothing. That bully is a bully at school, but at home, they're a victim. They can't do anything to their parents. They can't stand up to their parents. So in order to make themselves feel better, they go to school. They find someone weaker than them. They become the bully. Now they have the power that they don't have when they're at home. The oppressed become the oppressor. Today we're stopped by police, simply for looking the way we do. In turn, we attack black women for being dark. We're prejudged simply by our race. We then lump all black women into the same category. We are hated for being black. We're killed because we're black. The media and sports outlets use us for their own benefit. They pimp us out, and we in turn do the same to black women. As black men, we're angry, we're hurt, we're traumatized. But we direct our anger and pain at the wrong people. Not because we're weak physically, but because we've been conditioned to be weak mentally. Our pride and our ego is hurt, so we take it out on black women. It's like in situations of domestic violence. In some cases, the man may have very low self-esteem, low value. Bad things may happen to him, so he beats his wife to release his anger and aggression. But we all know they never have the same energy for other men. Black men. We are victims that have become bullies. We first must see ourselves as victims. Victims that need therapy for the trauma we have endured. And I'm not just talking about trauma passed on by our ancestors, but even the trauma that happens to us today. We have to come to terms with these things. We can't prosper until we've healed from our pain. We then need to see value in ourselves. We have to love ourselves, because the reality is we can never truly love black women until we love ourselves. Then we need to reprogram our mind, get out of the conditioned mindset that we can't achieve anything, undo the brainwashing that tells us we are powerless. We don't have to imitate them to be great. Being with a Becky is not going to elevate us to their status. The main thing we need to realize, black men, is that we are not alone in this. Whilst we're being oppressed, black women aren't getting it easy by white supremacy. Everything that happens to us is also happening to them. They say the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist. Well, the greatest trick white supremacy ever pulled was convincing us that they were superior to us, that slavery was our fault, and manipulating us to do their dirty work. Disrespecting and attacking black women will not make you white. It will not give you the white man's power, it will not give you the white man's approval, and it will not give you the white man's respect. And neither will it give you freedom from the system of white supremacy. Peace, love, and coconut oil. Hey man, that's racist! Please remember that from now on, brand new never-before-seen videos, as well as live streams, will only be available on my website, ikyg.com, via a Patreon subscription. ikyg.com is a Black-owned, Black-ran platform, 100% free from censorship. It's the only place where we don't have to worry about what we say and expressing ourselves. Make sure you check out the description and the comment section for important links, as well as information in video form that shows you what benefits you get when you support the site and join my Patreon. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, then don't forget to subscribe and be notified every time I upload a video. For exclusive content and perks, check out my Patreon. This is where we have private live streams, group chats, live Q&As, live phone calls, and open topics. This is a safe space where you can interact with other like-minded people, make friends, send each other direct private messages, and so much more without any trolls. And yes, you get to use GIFs and images in the live chats. So what are you waiting for? This is a completely independent website, free from censorship. If you'd like to make a donation towards the site so we can continue to put out the truth without fear of being silenced, then please hit that donation button. It's greatly appreciated. Check out the rest of the site for videos, private and public live streams, find out all the tea, and make sure to utilize the Black Money section of the website. Advertise your business absolutely free to people that look like you, free forever. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter at angel_IKYG.